In today's video, we have two awesome Fender Custom Shop 60s style Stratocasters. The first one is a Wildwood 10 Fiesta Red Stratocaster, and the second one is a more traditional style Stratocaster being 63 Reissue. So grab yourself some popcorn and let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Hey guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars for another episode. In today's video, we're checking out two Stratocasters from the team-built Fender Custom Shop line. We have one from the Wildwood 10 series of Stratocasters, which was from 2015, and then we have a 2018 63 Reissue Stratocaster. I can't wait to show you these guitars today. Both of these guitars are very unique as they have very nice paint jobs, but they also feel very different and have some interesting pickup choices. It's important to note that both of these guitars have come in on consignment. Here at Squealing Pig Guitars, we do a consignment service basically where we sell the guitars on behalf of the customer. That means we review and document your guitar here on the channel, meaning thousands of guitar players will get to see your listing, and we also list it on our store and fulfill the order. If you're interested in selling your high-end guitar, then make sure to hit the link down below to check out our consignment page on our website. Comment down below if you have any questions. But without further ado, let's get into the spec talk. So now it's time for the spec talk of these two Fender Custom Shop Stratocasters. To start off with, I'm going to be talking about the Wildwood 10 one, which is the one that I'm holding in my hand now. It's a very beautiful 60s style Stratocaster, and what really catches my eye is this beautiful finish. It's a Fiesta Red over pink sparkle, which is a very unique finish which you don't see every day. And then we have the heavy relic job all over this guitar, so we have some really nice sanded away areas, some lacquer checking, and it's a beautiful Stratocaster. So if you don't know already, Wildwood is a retailer over in the United States, and basically they have kind of become famous for speccing out Fender and Gibson custom shop guitars. And these Wildwood guitars are always rated very highly. So today we have the Wildwood 10 Stratocaster. This is from 2015, so this is before they were actually doing a floor traveler with the guitar. So we're going to have to go off the website for specs today. But basically with an older body on this one, with a maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard, pretty standard 60s spec. What differs from a kind of traditional 60s is that we have a 59 large C shape, which has a very nice kind of comfortable rounded feel. It's a little bit more in the hand than a typical 60s, and we have a double A flamed neck on this one, so it does have a little bit of figuring. The rosewood's got a really nice dark hue to it, and it's a slab board, meaning that it's a thicker piece of rosewood than, for example, a veneer board. This guitar has the Wildwood 10 hand-wound Fender Custom Shops pickups, which were spec'd just for this guitar. And basically, Wildwood were going after the classic era Stratocaster, trying to replicate the sound of Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan. And these Wildwood 10 pickups are basically wound to pay homage and tribute to that 60s era. We have a 5-way switch, 1 volume and 2 tones, Fender tremolo, and kind of standard Stratocaster specs. We have the vintage 6 inline tuners, and as you can see on that headstock there, we've got some really nice kind of ambered lacquer, which makes that headstock look beautiful. We've got the spaghetti logo, and this is a limited edition from the custom shop. This particular Wildwood 10 has a really nice resonance to it. I'm really enjoying it so far. But let's see the other Fender Stratocaster that we've got in on consignment. So the second Strat we've got in today is a 63 Reissue Fender Stratocaster, but it has quite the interesting finish. This is black over 3-tone sunburst, and as you can turn it down here, it looks like it's been the victim of some sort of fire or acid. It's a very interesting looking guitar. I have to say I'm not a massive fan of this finish personally. I'd much prefer just a solid black Stratocaster. So this guitar is a little bit more traditional to 60s specs. So you have a little bit of a thinner or slimmer neck, which is, you know, what the 60s period brought. It's like that oval C shape. We have a veneer rosewood fingerboard, meaning it's a lot thinner than the slab board. And then we have the same appointments like 21 frets, a bone nut, 5-way select switch, 1 volume, 2 tones. Where this guitar gets interesting is all within the pickup selection. So we have 2 Poblano pickups, and then we have a 69 star one in the middle, meaning that we have a very different sounding Stratocaster. To my ears, these pickups are a little bit higher output and have a lot more mid-range, meaning that this guitar sounds a lot more quacky than the Fiesta Red. Also, this guitar just feels slinkier. I assume that there's 9s on this guitar and that's why, but it definitely feels different when you play it. This finish is a lot more glossier than the Fiesta Red, although it still has that heavy relic. Obviously, you've got like lacquer checking and stuff. This one feels a lot more sticky, whereas the Fiesta Red feels a bit more satin. We also have that minted out 3-ply guard, which is a staple from the 60s era, and we have that kind of heavy lacquer tin on the headstock there, making it look nice and aged. But there are the specs of these 2 Fender Stratocasters, so I'm very excited to play them and compare them. So let's warm up the 2-Rock and get straight into the tone talk. So guys, now it's time for the spec talk of these 2 amazing Fender Stratocasters. Of course, you heard them in the start of today's video playing a cover of Voodoo Child, and obviously they sounded incredible, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail about the tones that you can get from these 2 guitars. For today's episode, I'm using my trusty 2-Rock Bloomfield Drive. I've got the bright switch and the deep switch engaged, which is typically what I do for Strats, just to give them a little bit more bottom end. And we're on the lead gain channel for today, and we're going to go through each pickup for you to hear. But let's get into this tone demo. So starting off on the neck pickup, let's hear the sound that I used in the intro of today's video. So let's start off on the neck pickup. So let's hear that next pickup. down. Bridge pickup. So guys, now that we've heard the tones from both of these amazing Fender Stratcasters, let's go to the end of the video where I give my full review and rating of both of these Strats. So guys, we're at the end of the episode. I really hope you've enjoyed checking out this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Make sure to leave a like if you have, comment your thoughts down below and tell me which one you preferred out of the two Stratcasters I reviewed today. And most importantly, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe and tap that notification bell to be notified when we make a new video. In today's video, I much preferred the Wildwood 10. For me, the pickups were voiced a lot better. They're the Wildwood 10 hand-wound pickups, which are going for that 60s style, that kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix tone. And for me, when I'm playing a Strat, I want that tone, you know, pretty much in every Strat I play. Also, that Fiesta Red Stratocaster had a little bit of a thicker profile on the neck, and it had a really nice kind of figuring to the maple. so I just preferred that guitar overall. I thought the black one was really cool. I'm not a big fan of sunburst with the black over finishes. I prefer just like a solid black if I was going to get one personally. I know some people will like that, but the pickups work really for me. I'm a big fan of the Poblano series, but this guitar had two Poblanos, one in the neck and one in the bridge, and it has 69 in the middle. And for me, it had a little bit too much quack and was a little bit too mid-rangey, meaning that it boosts the amp a little bit more, and it wasn't really for me. So yeah, for today I'm going to be giving the Fiesta Red Stratocaster an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give the black over Sunburst a 6 out of 10. But most importantly guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of both of these guitars. So guys, that's the end of today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment your thoughts down below and subscribe if you're new. But I'll catch you tomorrow for another Squealing Pig Guitars episode. But until then, that leaves me with one last thing to say. Keep rocking guys, I'll see you soon.